Hello, 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 hello. We are live. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Okay, perfect. So let's begin. Last time we actually learned about something I'll discuss you right now. Let me open my comment section. If any person arrives, we should be knowing that any person is here talking with us. Okay. Let me also on the React. Okay, perfect. So, last time we actually learned about biases and safety and responsibilities of AI, and there we discussed how the bias term has three meanings, intercept, and all that. We learned about hallucination. We learned about prompt injection, right? And how our harness should be to actually avoid the prompt injection part. Okay, that all we learn. Next, we are going to proceed on fine tuning and PFT and alignment part. So, this seems to be important to me because basically this topic actually covers LLM to fine tune, not just get prompted. So, basically, teaching, like here it is explained here, like a teaching a model new habit, freeze the big brain, bolt on tiny trainable piece with LoRa and nudge it with behavior capacity cheaply. Nudge it with behavior cheaply. Okay. So basically, we want to optimize the expenses. Also, we want to direct the brain correctly of the LLM. Okay. This is what we are going to learn about in this topic. So frequency of this question being asked in interview is 4 out of 5 and use case is 3 out of 5 because in normally in for example you join startup you don't really going to fine tune any LLM model, right? And difficulty is 4 on 5 and priority is also 4 on 5, so it's like high level of difficulty as well as requirement to actually um basically to prepare on the interviews. Okay. So what I have done, I have actually copied all this part so that we can actually learn it quickly through ChatGPT. Uh, so I have learned, copied all this and pasted it here, and here started to explain. Let's begin to actually read it through and understand what is being said. Mm, this is the comment section. No, perfect. Lower volume. Okay. So I'll explain you like a 15-year-old, but with the real example and companies. Okay, understood. Imagine you buy a genius employee, not buy, but actually you can say offer a job to a genius employee. Suppose tomorrow you hire Albert Einstein. Okay, he already knows physics, maths, chemistry, astronomy, programming. Not really programming, but okay, literature and stuff. Okay. Now you want, but yeah, if Albert Einstein is living in 2026, then he must be knowing programming. Okay. Now you want him to work at Swiggy customer support. Swiggy is nothing but a food company which actually deliver foods. Okay. So now you want him to work at Swiggy customer support. Do you teach everything again? No. You only teach the refund policy or reconciliation, how to speak politely, what is the company style to behave. Okay, this is what we are going to teach Albert Einstein, not really uh, other things. Yeah, he already has brain, so LLM has already brain. That's how exactly how modern LLM training works. Okay, so we basically pick a LLM first, then we train on like we train on something. Okay. Okay. The giant brain already exists. You teach new habits. Okay. The decision framework. Interviewers love this question. Okay. So interviewer may ask you, should we use prompt engineering, RAG, or fine tuning? Okay. So all these are three different topics, having three different use cases. Let's see how it is being discussed here. So this is probably the most common senior AI engineer question asked. Prompting for behavior first. Okay, right. If you want anything to behave some way, so we can actually use prompting. Not really, we have to do fine tuning. RAG is for knowledge, which knowledge LLM doesn't contain. Okay, like for example, company details or a future some details, or it could be anything. It could be company papers. It could be future details, future knowledge, anything. If you want to give ability to LLM, we have to implement RAG for it. Uh, Fine tuning for behavior that prompting can't reliably achieve. So fine tuning comes into picture when prompting actually is not reliable. Sometimes gives the answer correctly, but sometimes it doesn't. So it is not reliable. Then we do use fine tuning. Okay, understandable. Mhm. So in situation one, suppose you ask ChatGPT, explain gravity like I'm fire. Tomorrow you ask, always answer like a pirate. Okay. So you didn't train anything. No training happened. You simply change the instruction. This is prompt engineering. Understood. Think it of like talking differently to your friend. Your friend already knows English. Just you are just saying speak like Shakespeare, because the friend knows English. He can speak like Shakespeare. Maybe he knows how to talk like a Shakespeare. It is easy for it. So no learning required. Okay. When should you use prompt engineering? Whenever you want to change tone, personality, output, format, reasoning. I can see some guys in our chat do comment, what are you learning, guys? Where are you from? What are you learning? So let's begin. So when should you use prompt engineering? Whenever you want to change tone, personality, output format. For example, if it is coming in string, you want to convert, like you want output to be in JSON or something, then you can actually say in prompt that make sure the output should be in JSON format and this should be the keys. Okay, understandable. Reasoning style and writing style. Okay, understand. So example, answer in JSON, explain simply, be sarcastic, and use bullet points. Never exceed 100 words. Okay. So first of all, this is contradictory example, because if something is being written in bullet points and uh, giving a limit of 100 words, how come in reality JSON will be the answer? Okay, but this is the example, not really the real world stuff. No training, no GPU, almost free. So almost free it is being said because LLM need cost, and if you even use a smaller LLM in your system, that also cost you electricity. That's why it is said almost free. So no training, just prompting, no GPUs. Okay. So in situation two, imagine your company has HR PDF, leave policy.pdf. Okay. It says employee receive 20 leaves, 10, 20 annual leaves, 5 sick leaves, 2 optional holidays. GPT doesn't know your company policy. Should fine tune it? No. Yeah. Is there a need of fine tuning it? No. Because it is not like user is querying and uh, LLM has the information of the employee's leave policy. Wait, wait again now, guys. Should you fine tune it? No, because next month the char will change the PDF and now you have to retrain it again. Instead, AI searches for the PDF first, then answer it. This is RAG, understandable. So this is think of a RAG student looks inside textbook, answer the question, no memory change, understand. Okay. Students simply check the book. Yeah. So RAG is like a system where uh, where some part of details which LLM doesn't have, that is given in a way, like for example, I have to explain it deeply. So basically, for example, you give a PDF to it, it will basically scrape all of the word as a token and chunk it by like for words or like few of the words or maybe part of the word. Then it will keep those words in some vector space, and the position of it will be actually placed similar to other words, and then that position is actually called as embedding, and embedding is actually stored in vector database. And that basically whenever we actually do some searching, it's actually find top p or yeah, top k. So it finds similarities or top probability of the actually next word, whatever uh, you are asking to the RAG. Yeah, that's very actually difficult to understand visually, but this is like for the guys who actually knows and just want to align with what we are learning here. Yeah. So in situation three, suppose you run a bank. Every question must look like this. Decision. So now here comes the fine tuning part. So every question must look like a JSON which has this, for example, two keys, decision and a reason. So you prompt a model. For example, we don't use fine tuning, and we prompt a model. Sometimes it follows, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it actually generate a JSON, but in some codes or something, right? And when we parse it, it fails to parse it in our whatever Python or whatever language we are like using handler as. So in prompt, for example, we say return JSON. Result are sure. Here's your JSON, and later it provides the JSON. Not just the JSON, but the like extra verbs to add to the JSON. Yeah, it is not reliable. Now imagine your process. You process 100 million requests daily, and prompt becomes 400 token long. Expensive. These things we don't need. We don't want to remove all this from the prompts, right? This will become expensive like exponentially when we are actually not fine tuning our model. Okay, now you fine tune. After training, the model naturally return the JSON like we expect here. Yeah, and no giant prompt needed. Like later we don't even need to prompt explain it very carefully how we want, how the structure will be, how the keys will be. Once the fine tuning is done, just we need to ask for the information. It will give you in the format, right? That's when fine tuning makes sense. Easy rule. If you want a different tone, go for prompt. If you want a company knowledge, new company knowledge, then use the RAG. Need a permanent behavior, like it should respond if that LLM is hit with a question, it should respond with a strict behavior. Then we use a fine tuning. Like we discussed that here. If LLM is hit with any question, like for example, for example, this answer is for something question like, uh, oh, is my income above threshold of 30,000? So answer will come as reason approved, reason, yeah, reason this is that income above threshold. If we were using prompt engineering, then it will say, yeah, sure, let me check, and yeah, your income is above threshold. We don't want that. We want a strict behavior to happen. For that, we use fine tuning. Interview sentence: RAG is for knowledge, fine tuning for behavior. Prompting should always be tried first. Yeah, first we try prompting. If prompting doesn't help and stays inconsistent, then we use fine tuning for that behavior. Prompting like almost works for like for example, chat based system, where you want a data to come in specific format, but it will consist a string. Then it actually generate a good code. But if you want, for example, just a JSON and no gibberish before that, then prompting may fail for that behavior.